check. I think the music's too loud. Hey, you guys, put your headsets on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Mandy.
Yes.
There you are.
I can hear you.
Lauren.
What's up?
There she is.
Hey.
Kim.
Hello.
Haha. Can everybody hear everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I can't believe he left this fucking shit up. I don't know if this will ever see the light of day, but we might as well fucking bullshit.
Let's do it.
So I am drinking some amazing Bud Light. Mandy, what are you drinking?
A mixture. I've got tequila and Mike's Hard lemonade.
Double
What?
fisting.
What do you got, Lauren?
I stole one of my husband's swamp heads, so
Boom.
when he comes over here next time,
That's local,
It
right?
is local.
It is local.
Let's go ahead and put a plug into that one. Swamp Head Brewery, you're right here in Gainesville, Florida. Thank you very much for all your wonderful beer.
What are you sipping on, Kim?
I got tequila and lime.
Boom.
It's delicious.
I think we're drinking the lightest. I don't have any tequila.
I gotta get up early, so
I don't think I can do.
I can only have one swamp head. One swamp head for Lauren.
I think you could handle two.
No bad influences.
I think you can handle a shot or two.
A whole shot?
Yeah. Oh Lord, no, 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 no.
They usually run this thing for a good amount of time, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. So, this is hilarious. See, we would
I
need
hear the
video.
crickets. I hear the actual crickets.
I was gonna say I hear crickets too.
Do you know what's so bad is damn well we could usually go to town
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
and bullshitting,
Of
and now it's
course.
like, I don't know, what do I say?
It's just because it's recorded. We
True.
don't want it out there
Yeah.
forever.
That's freaking true. This is probably going to be the
This is a
longest
lot
time
harder than we thought.
ever. So,
It'll get better.
I've got, I don't even know what we should all talk about. There's so much shit we could talk about. I'm going to start on, this is so bland.
Whatever you
And
have.
I know nothing about it.
What?
What is it?
Fashion.
Fucking fashion.
But I don't know shit about it.
No, what mom does really.
You know what's
There you go.
It's comfort. It's not fashion. It's comfort.
what's so funny now is at our age, like, we just strive for comfort, but those of us that have daughters or, you know, nieces, they have the cutest clothes.
So cute.
Like, my daughter has so many, like, dresses and shoes, and she has so much stuff to choose from, and she doesn't even care.
Well,
I wish I could wear half the stuff she has.
She's little.
Right.
Oh, you want to talk about fashion? Mine just hit the juniors department, so.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so
11,
afraid.
11 years old, hitting the juniors department, so I have to like tell her which items are off limits.
Appropriate.
Like, Mom, look at this really cute shirt that shows off half my stomach. No. You're 11.
Not
but
gonna happen.
But I can fit it. Don't care.
Not
You're
gonna happen.
11. You're not wearing it to school. You're not wearing it out in public. So, yeah, we are all about juniors clothing now. She's
Got to be excited just to be able to, like, you know, I mean, moving from that one stage to the next.
The first time we took her over to the juniors department, well, I took her over to the juniors department because we couldn't find a pair of shorts in her size over in, like, the 14, 16s, you know, children's area. So I said, well, let's go check out juniors because maybe we'll, you know, you try to, like, equivalate the kids large, extra large to, like, an adult small, extra small. And she went over there and her eyes just lit up like, whoa, this is Junior's clothing? And she's just like, she's looking around. She's like picking out all this stuff. What I've never seen her be interested in whatsoever before. But all of a sudden now we're just like, Mom, I never want to ever shop in the girls section ever again.
Aw.
And we always come to Junior's, and I'm like, no. Okay, well, Mom, look at these shorts. Aren't they cute? Yeah. How many inches are there? Yeah, you're tall, sweetie. You need the longer shorts.
She is super tall.
She picked out a pair of shorts that had a bunch of rips in them. I was like, no. So see, ladies, this is what you have to look forward to when they
Can't wait.
hit Junior's
Oh.
department. It's great. Yep. All the shirts that are like knotted in the middle, and they
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
are like cropped, but they're not. They're just there enough. As long as she doesn't reach her arms up.
Don't move.
Yeah, don't put your arms down.
Well, I'm in a similar boat, but I have a 13-year-old son, and he's full blown into, the next phase. And his thing is he doesn't really care about fashion. He likes pretty basic stuff, but he's wearing pretty much the same size as his dad. And sometimes he's walking down the hallway and I have to look twice because he looks so much like Reed, and it's kind of freaky. So that's my life. I'm shopping in the men's department for him.
Oh
Now,
my god.
But does he wear like my son? He will only wear athletic shorts, t-shirts.
He likes to wear pants.
Okay,
To school. He's only
so there is
pants.
still hope.
Yeah, but he wears athletic shorts, for like football practice and stuff. He'll do that, but they have to come down to a certain point. He's very particular.
About having them long.
Yeah, having them long enough and
Yeah,
making
see,
sure
Anthony, he's in the cargo. It's so bad. I'm doing freaking laundry. And Nick yells at me, but I can't freaking help it. Like, I'm folding the clothes. I'm in a rhythm. Like, I don't know if they're his shorts or Anthony's shorts. Because straight up, they're wearing the same damn waistband.
Yeah, I was
And they
gonna
have,
say,
like, the exact same shorts.
It's got to make laundry hard.
Oh, listen, I stopped caring when he would be like, these aren't mine. Well, sorry. Take them to who they belong to. They're folded, aren't they? They're freaking clean.
underwear.
Underwear.
My son will be like, "Mom, you put Dad's underwear in my drawer," and I'm like, "Well, my bad."
Oh, see, Nick does the, I don't even know, I guess they're called briefs. And then Anthony does the boxers.
Oh, that makes it easy.
So that one's okay, but the shorts.
No, I've got 3 men in briefs. 3 different sized men in
3?
in briefs. They all wear the same type of underwear.
Oh, that's right.
No, Joe and Halon
Boxer
are different,
briefs.
so I will not have to worry about that ever. I hope.
See, my problem is socks.
Oh, I hate socks.
Me and Tilly, our socks are so messed up, we can never find a matching pair whatsoever. Doesn't matter. I go and buy socks every week, I feel like.
Riley purposely wears mixed match socks. It's like a thing.
I feel
I
like
tried
I'm
to-
doing something wrong if
No.
I don't have a matching pair of socks on.
Oh, listen, I want to just buy white socks for everybody. So then it doesn't matter, like the short ankle white socks.
Yep.
But Riley, she'll purposely, and it used to irk me. She'd come out of the room and have 2 different socks on. And I'd be like, Riley, why don't you put the same? And Nick's like, leave her alone. She's expressing. So I was like, I'm like, okay, all right.
Learn how to do laundry,
Express.
damn it.
I'm like, go ahead, Express. It makes me wonder if she just can't find the other one. So that's how it started, and now she's run with it.
That
like
would
it's
that would be my bet. She didn't find it because I give my kids will come get their clothing. I'm like, here's your socks. Do you think they like put them together? No, they throw them in their drawer, so they're all mismatched.
Yep.
And they just grab it real quick.
Yep.
Listen, I put my kids' socks together. Caden's get folded all the way into a ball, and Gage's get the toes left out so they know whose is whose when they're putting them away.
Oh, you're such a good mom.
Damn.
right?
I
This is-
hate
That's like too much for me.
that's like smart.
Holy moly!
socks
So
are
much
the
effort.
bane of my existence. I hate like socks with patterns and different colors because you have to make sure that they go together. So if you're
Yeah.
missing one,
Well,
it goes into one pile. So I have this
Yep.
big basket full of just
Yep.
random socks that don't have matches.
So I know we're talking about kids and socks, but I'll tell you, my husband, socks. I think he's worse than the kids. He likes to use his as basketballs and throw them into the hamper. And so when I'm doing laundry, I have to go
you
around
have
and
to undo them.
I have to find them because they don't
Oh.
all make the hamper.
Oh,
Like
So
underneath
wh-
the couch.
When I do laundry and I come out, I have a pile of like socks that don't have matches to them for his because he's throwing them. Some have landed like behind the blinds in our room on the windowsill, and like we'll be sitting there, and I'm like, hey, there's that sock I've been looking for 3 weeks.
Years later,
Yeah.
you find them.
I just stick them in a drawer. I'm like, well, I'll eventually find this one because they always pop up. But yeah, that's I don't know what it is. None of them. Nobody in my house can do socks.
Can't put them together. Can't.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Riley loves to. Anthony is the worst. He'll wear the same pair. I have to remind him. Like, not so much anymore. He's getting a little older, a little wiser. But beforehand, it was like he would wear the same pair of socks 2-3 days.
Oh my god!
I'd finally get the socks, and I'd be like, "Really? Because these are just. I should just toss them now."
Oh,
I mean,
smell,
they're
and they
oh,
smell,
and they're so dirty and
yeah,
stretched out.
yeah.
It's just like
They'll be like, "Oh, why do my shoes smell?" I'm like, "Cause your socks smell too.
'Cause you
You've been
wore the
wearing
same-
them for 3 days."
freaking
Look,
pair.
Mom, you can see my toe through this hole right here.
It's freaking ridiculous. No, but I could. You got the little one. I mean, the little one's got to be. You're gonna have mix match with her. She's gonna have colorful ones, right?
She's got some Hello Kitty ones that she really likes, but
I miss
I'm
Hello
able to
Kitty.
keep hers like kind of together more. Like
Yeah.
the boys, they will undress and literally put their clothes next to the hamper. So it's like really two feet this way, and you would have
starting
been
them
in the
young.
hamper. Like we go over it all the time.
I think it's a continued fight. I walk into
Mhm.
Anthony's room, and it's more and more looking like a locker room. And I walk into, and Riley's clothes are always in the bathroom or not in the hamper. And I literally tried to put a hamper right outside their room. It's right there. You just have to just put it in. Kim, you got...
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're never... No, I'm not going to give up, but it's getting close. Of not caring. No, not of not caring, but like not doing it for them. Because you say it so many times, and then you just are like, it just has to get done. And you go and just do it.
Well, then you
Yeah.
do it, of
You're
course,
tired
because
of
that's what we do.
Nagging.
We've said it so many times, and then they're like, well, you shouldn't do it for them. Well, I've said it about like 5 billion times.
I'm sick of saying
I'm
it.
sick of saying it. We
Yeah.
just need to do it because it needs to get done. Period. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Tis true.
Mm-hmm.
This whole podcast so far has been about socks.
Laundry.
Laundry.
Listen, man, they wanted to get
Mom
4 women
life.
together. This is what they're getting.
We're so exciting.
We talked about socks. We talked about underwear. What else about laundry have we not talked about?
We talked about how we organize them, put them away.
Let's not get into stain removal.
Oh no.
Listen,
Oh.
I have had to put a seat cover on my passenger side when I pick up Gage from football. He's soaked with sweat. So, and I have cloth seats, and my car's only a few years old, and I've had to put a vinyl seat cover over it so that he doesn't ruin my seats. It's so bad.
Anthony got in the car today, and I caught like a whiff, and you know that whiff. I mean, he's 13. Like, he's got to be.
Yep.
It's got to be coming soon. It's not here yet, though. I mean, he started getting a few little, the zits or whatever, but it hasn't happened.
It's right around the corner.
But all of a sudden he kind of got in the car today from school, and I was just like, I waited a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was like, you didn't fart, did you? Because I know that that's not really the smell, but I didn't want to outright be like, let me smell your pits. So I'm just waiting for him to like take off that shirt that he's had on, and so I can smell the pits, so I can test it and be like,
Wow.
Is it time?
So you've only started doing that now?
no. I probably did it. The first time I really did it was like a month ago.
A month?
Yeah, like a month ago.
Dude, Hannah's 6th grade. I've been doing that for the past year.
Really?
Oh yeah, and she hates it because in the morning, my whole thing, like when she gets ready for school, is like, oh, listen, you got to finish brushing your hair, because she likes to brush her hair to like halfway, and then the ends are still knotted because she doesn't want to brush it through all the way.
Mhm.
And so like you can tell because it's like this big puffy mop at the bottom of her hair, but it's all nice at the top. Like, you got to brush all the way through, sweetie. If there's knots, you got to brush. But then my second question to her is, did you put deodorant on? And she always says yes, but I have to ask her sometimes when I think she's lying because she hates it. You would think I'm asking her to like give blood and you know.
But she needs it.
She needs it.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. And she thinks it's the most embarrassing thing when I said, "Let me smell your pits." And she's just like, "Mom." I'm like, "Well, then you don't have anything to hide."
Well, so does it really go from like, let me smell your breath to make sure they brush their teeth to let me
Yes.
smell your pits?
Yes.
So we're just constantly forever smelling them.
Yes.
I don't have
Yes.
to ask.
You can just
I can
smell.
just like with mine. He just goes like this in the car, raises his arm up, and like gets comfortable, and it's like, good Lord, I thought you put
Really?
on deodorant. I did. No, you didn't.
See, it comes.
It gets to the point where I feel like I'm being mean sometimes, but like I love you, and I'm not trying to be mean, but
See, I have to ask because, because they don't want to do it. So if I ask, it's because I've already smelled something. Because I'm like, what's that? Did you put on deodorant? Yes. Did you put on deodorant? Yes. Did you put it on deodorant? No. And then they walk away. That's why I ask, because I can already smell it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what?
Oh, see, I'd probably do the mean thing. And I'd probably do the, did you put on deodorant, kind of like with the teeth brushing, did you brush your teeth? But I really think it's only going to take a couple of times, and I'm going to turn around and be like, you stink. Like to Anthony,
You
when
will.
he
Go
he
do
does,
it.
I'm going to look at him and be like, if I can smell you, other people can smell you.
I've
so
tried.
put it on.
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm
Well, what
sorry
I-
to say this. It sounds like I wish that was like, you stink. I do? Oh my gosh, I need to go put something on.
No
Yes.
shame.
No, no.
They don't even care.
Nope.
It's like, meh,
Oh well. That.
damn it.
Well, what I did with
Bye,
Tilly
Mom.
is I put a trial size of deodorant in the car. So before she gets out of the car for school, she puts it on.
Is she doing deodorant now
Oh
too?
yeah, I can smell her when
She's
I pick her up from
11.
after school. Oh no,
Yeah.
she's 8.
Damn.
That girl stinks. I love her.
I love you,
I
sweetie.
love her. But she does.
Well, everyone, I mean, they all start later or different. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It is what it is.
I'm just still waiting.
They say 9 is like the average age
Yeah.
For girls?
Yeah.
For girls, yeah. When I was told that, I about hit the floor. It's true. 9 is average. And I can remember being like in, I don't know, 4th grade, and there were girls that were already like having their, cycles and stuff. And it's like, what's that? So crazy.
So crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I started way late.
See, I started in like 6th or 7th grade.
7th.
Yeah.
6th.
I was like 15. I was like in 9th or 10th grade.
Were you really athletic?
Yeah.
That's why.
No, I was too.
Well,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but see, it was funny
What about your
because-
parents though?
Yeah, see,
Your
my
mom's- your
mom's mom started at like, it was like 10, 12, and then me. I guess it was closer to 14 and a half, something like that. But yeah, we were all like 2 years, but it just got
Wow.
later and later. Riley better not. She needs to wait like me. She better not rewind and try to pull some shit at 10.
Oh, she coming.
I mean, you've seen how she...
She coming.
She's so sassy
Mhm.
I'm-
and feisty.
Have fun.
So cute.
I'm screwed. I love her, but I'm screwed. So I'm starting back to work. Mandy, I'm starting back to
so
work.
exciting.
I am. Part-time.
We're at the vets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
You
yep.
missed it.
I did.
Yay!
I
I'll
needed
schedule
that.
my appointment with you then.
Yeah. I'll be there. I'll freaking be there. Part-time, though. I just need to do more than, like, school. I needed to get out of the house, and I didn't want to get out of the house and spend money, so I might as well get out of the house and make some.
Right on.
I don't know.
Mornings, afternoons, what?
I don't know. Whatever
Oh,
they
okay.
put me at.
Just
I
random.
mean, just not Monday or Wednesday because I have school.
Do not schedule appointments on Monday and Wednesday. Got it.
Do not schedule Monday or Wednesday. I'm not there. And every other Saturday, which was a big deal because I was like, just starting out. I'm going to get stuck with every Saturday. I'm going to miss the Gator games. Nope. I went in and I was like, I can't. I can only work every other. And I got it.
Well, you should.
Well, no, it's a new it's a new office manager. Brandy, Brandy,
Oh.
Karen, they're all, So it's a new office manager. I actually went in. You didn't get to hear the story. Okay. So I went in and went up, and the office manager was actually at reception. And I go walking in, and I'm like, yeah, so I was thinking about doing some part-time stuff. I wanted to come by here first and see if you guys were hiring. And she's like, really all I'm hiring for is reception. And I was just like, no, not doing it, Nothing against reception, but I just, So anyways, she turns around and she's like, okay. So then I leave. Well, like 4 days later, she ended up texting me and being like, hey, I'm going to start you in the back, and what salary are you looking for? And da-da-da-da. And I was just like, what happened? So I had to like jump on the phone and call all the old employees and be like, what happened? What was said? Anyways. So yeah, totally going to be starting Tuesday.
So
my first
What kind of stuff are you doing there?
tech stuff. So like drawing blood and knocking out animals and prepping for surgery and doing vaccines and general like care. I miss it.
I miss seeing you in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Feeling good over there?
That's why I'm saying. Oh, not Mondays and Wednesdays. So.
Get to come in and
Mm-hmm.
bring Bella in and see Ortiz, and yeah, I'll be there. Who do you get? You always see Ortiz though,
I
don't you?
always see Ortiz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then just whatever tech comes in.
Yeah, whatever tech comes. There's so many different faces.
Yeah.
It's not you. So,
They keep switching them out.
I can't learn them now. But
Can't.
if you come back, see?
Then you'll be like, Sherry's there. You remember Sherry?
Well, yeah. I talk to her every time I go in there.
Yeah, she's always there.
But now that you're there, I'm just going to tell you hey, I'm coming in on Tuesday.
I'm going to be there. So have you guys heard about this crazy shit? The crazy shit at Westwood?
Yeah.
Westwood Metal?
Yeah.
No. So it's been all over Facebook. This dude. What was it, Kim?
So I don't know the whole story, but from what I have read, that the guy's kid was being bullied
Mm-hmm.
or something, and then like Westwood the administration there wouldn't really take care of anything, and they were just kind of letting it slide. But I don't really know the full story, so I haven't really read into it that much. But I have heard about it, and I know there's like a huge petition going on because the guy got arrested. The dad got arrested for making a couple statements, I guess.
It's freaking ridiculous. So the first thing I saw the dad's post on
Right.
Facebook, and he was just like, within the first 2 sentences after I read it, I was just kind of like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. I mean, the guy was obviously frustrated, but he said something. Lauren, did you see the original from him?
Yeah, I saw it.
And like within the first couple of sentences, Mandy, he was like, if you don't, Westwood Middle School has this amount of time to correct this, and
He told them they had 24 hours.
24 hours to correct this,
Before
or what was it?
he rains hell.
Yeah, he was gonna make it rain or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Rain
And
hell on
then
the school.
went in through this whole thing about, it had happened. His kid has been bullied 3 times and nothing's been done about it. And the latest incident was involved at the pool, and the kid like got cornered or something. Now, granted, 2 sides to every story, and this is what the dad is saying. But yeah, it turns around and kid ended up taking a picture of his son and putting it with the post. And the kid, you can definitely see a busted blood vessel in the eye. Don't know if that's what it's from. And it does look a little dark. Like he has kind of a black eye. But then it takes a step further. You saw it where not just that,
He
but
said something about drowning.
the
Like
kid,
he almost drowned. or
yeah,
something.
like, the dad was kind of like, he could have drowned or something.
Exaggerating.
Well,
little bit,
who
probably.
knows?
We don't know.
I don't know. Wasn't there. But then the dad, what was it?
I don't know. I almost want to pull it up just to look.
I hate trying to say something when I
know.
don't know. I always pull up stuff and read it. But anyways, he basically, so the kid gets cornered, being bullied. He goes to the teacher. The teacher turns around and says, stay away from him. Granted, still dad's account. And then the next day, the kid got called into the office to apologize per dad so that he would not get jumped. Like, apologize to the bully. That's what was how it was handled. So, craziness. So the dad goes up there and basically put in his 2 cents and was asked to leave the campus. So then he took his son with him. Now, I don't know when exactly this transpired during the day. If it was during school hours, I don't know. But then he says this. Then all of a sudden, it's like a couple hours later, and he's in motherfucking jail. He's gotten picked up, and his charges were something about threat. And,
extortion too, I think.
Yeah. And so then all these people, did you see it on the one major social media?
There's been so many social media posts about it. I've seen it, and there's so many comments here and there about the different instances that happened. And, again, there are 2 sides to every story. I understand how he's frustrated, but,
There's
He can't say what he said.
I wasn't going to jump on any petition signing, this and that.
No,
this
I
and
didn't
that,
either.
because I don't know anything about anything that's just happened. All I see is somebody posting something on Facebook. And again, what our world is somehow now inclined to is that if it's posted on the internet, it's true, and everyone gets up in arms about this whole lynch mob thing. And there's been so many instances that stuff turns out to be not what everyone thought it was. And so I'm not going to be one of those ones to jump on. I stepped back, and then I started seeing some of the comments happen where I guess in the second incident that happened, which was the one that apparently his kid had to apologize to the bullies, one of those moms actually got on and commented and said that his kid was the one punching her kid in the head, and that's why he had to apologize. So again, I think they're all separate instances. Whatever happened at the pool that made him pull the kid out is totally different kids than the instance that he had to go apologize to these kids for what happened at the pool the other day. Yeah, it's a whole big mess, and I'm more of the I'm not even going to make comments. I'm not going to do anything because oh God. But what I will say as a parent of a child who's at Westwood, some of the comments from other adults were very disturbing to the fact that they wanted to go riot the school. And that puts me as a mother who has a child there, who I've asked every day, how's school? How are you doing? How are the kids in your class? Are you having issues? Do you see kids that are bothering you? And she says no. She loves it. She's having a great time in middle school. She's a 6th grader.
I asked Anthony, and he's like, I said, do you ever see any fights? And he's like, oh yeah, the girls pulling each other's hair, but actual fights, no. And I'm like, yeah, I stayed clear from or commenting on any of it, because I was like, you don't know all the facts, you don't know what happened. Everyone's going on gut reaction, just the emotion of being a parent, because we're all parents and none of us want our kids bullied. But to immediately jump on there and be like, oh, get him out. No, he did something wrong if he's sitting in jail.
Let me tell you, like I said, as a parent, as of a child who's Westwood, any of these adults who are now throwing down, wanting to riot the school and show up during school time when my child's there, now we have problems. Come on, guys. You need to get your heads together, act like adults.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, but again, this is the time where we live. We see something on the internet, and then we have to start, pitchforking and mob lynching, and I just can't anymore. Honestly, it makes me so disenchanted with everything that goes on, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna go do my laundry and clean my house and take my kids to their after school activities and cook dinner. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
So you've kind of like disconnected
in a way, yeah,
from the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on there. And I want to keep up with friends from far away, and I want to see what everyone else is doing, because I don't get to see people on a regular basis. It's not like I'm seeing adults every single day But honestly, like my posts and
yeah,
it's just a hodgepodge of.
It's so heavy sometimes.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is. It is. And again, things get posted and you don't even know what's true, and then people the emotions start getting into it, and then they start posting stuff, and then it turns into a whole like firestorm where you're just like, oh my.
Oh, they were talking about going and protesting outside the jail during his during his, what is it? Not
The
bail hearing,
arraignment
the
or
arraignment,
something like
yeah.
that. Bail, yeah.
It was, Mandy.
There were people.
It was
There were people commenting to me
ridiculous.
about rioting the school, and that bothered me because I'm just like, oh no, don't come to the school while my kid is there.
Well, that was the other thing is like, I think Nick posted one thing. He did jump on there one time.
I
and
saw him.
You saw
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
said?
I saw it too.
I sat there
Yeah.
going, oh Nick.
Yeah.
You got a lot of balls, Nick. You know what's about to happen.
Well, and honestly, did you see how it was like when he posted in Gainesville word of mouth, and it got
Mhm.
it when he posted it, and then the person commented, they never commented again, and no one else commented on his stuff either. But then he got into a conversation with a mutual friend, Leah, and on her post because she reposted it, so he commented on that, and I was like, oh no, you know, but my kid. Anthony goes there. Like, we don't want
no.
bullshit and drama and just, you're not there to freaking, it's so ridiculous.
Drawing more attention.
Like, just go and do your shit and get home. You know, like, you don't have to, I don't know why, but who knows what the other kid, the guy, even the dad in the post turned around and was like, you know, my kid's not, I know my kid can be an ass or something. Or
He
something like
cusses.
that.
He does this. He cusses.
Yeah, he's like, but what middle school doesn't cuss and
my kid
kind of
doesn't.
thing. Anthony definitely does.
Mine doesn't.
But he also knows the time and place rule. Like, there's a time and place, and honestly, even in the privacy of your own room, yelling at a video game ain't gonna fly. Like, I end up getting up and like, excuse me? And the minute I do it, he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's more my youngest. My oldest, who's at Westwood, that she's nope, not her at all. She's like, ew, no, I would not say those words.
Do your guys, Mandy?
Probably.
Probably.
They don't. They're good enough to not do it where I can hear it. I do have a nephew who's 14, and when he comes to visit, he and Gage will they'd be on video games 24/7.
Mhm.
And there was one time I walked in when they didn't know I was there, and I heard him say something like, "Oh shit!" And I walked in. I said, "Excuse me," and his eyes just got real round. I'm sorry. But you know, I heard about it after they left that he cusses, he says bad words. I'm like, well, don't be a tattletale. I didn't hear it, you
Mhm.
know, because it happens. But no, I'm sure they do, but they are conscious enough to not do it where I can hear it. I guess that's respect.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or smart. It's
Yeah.
probably just smart.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Can't do it to her mom.
Halen's whole thing is everything's trash. You're
Trash?
Yes. You're trash. Like I hear him when he plays Fortnite. That's trash. You're trash. That kid is trash. Halen.
Oh, and he's doing like the what is it, the Minecraft, and they can actually talk to their friend.
No,
Like,
Fortnite.
or
He plays
Fortnite.
Fortnite. And I've heard I can hear him. So of course when I say I can hear him to the point where his worst things that he says is like, you know, you're trash. And I'm like, I scream him, Halen, do you need to come off? Because like I think he's getting a little too heated. Like,
Right,
you don't need
right.
to call people trash. I don't know
Settle
if you're
down.
calling your friends. I don't care. You calling your friends some stranger trash, but he doesn't say some of the things that he says he hears on there from other kids. And there's been some pretty bad things that other kids have said to him and his friends to kind of rile them up.
Anthony's best
Yeah.
thing is he'll get on, and that's what it's more is like once they start getting too riled up, things
Mhm.
slip. They end up
Mhm.
getting too heated, and then Anthony's biggest thing, and he actually says friggin', but he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And it's like, "What? What did you just say?" Like, but he doesn't say the actual. He doesn't say fuck. I mean, he says frickin', but it's I can't stand how angry he gets with the games.
No, Halen's the same way.
We don't do any of the talking with friends. We don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Probably more because we don't have the bandwidth for it out in the country. We don't have good internet out there. But no, we never got into that kind of gaming. They play games, but not where they can talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first moved out here from Dade City, Gage rode the bus, and he wrote it. This is 6th grade with high schoolers. And I remember one day we were going to the store, and he's like, Mom, these kids that ride this bus, they're just so vulgar. He's like 11. I'm
Aw.
like, vulgar? Really? like how? He's like, the way they talk is just, it's so bad. They say the worst things. And I'm like, well, like what? Like, we can talk about all kinds of stuff, you know? I've never made it weird where you can't tell me stuff. Well, like, I just can't tell you. I'm like, well, why not? Like, just tell me what it's about. You don't have to repeat it. Just, what is it? And he's like, I can't, Mom. You're my mom. I just can't say
Aw.
those things. And I'm like, well, dude, come on. And after a little bit of probing, he's like, well, sometimes it's like about sex. I'm like, oh, really?
Oh, no.
He's like, yes. And the bus driver has a son that's like 5, and sometimes he's on there and they don't even care. And I'm like, oh no.
Aw.
This poor kid. We come from a charter school environment, and then he's thrown into this, you know, it's still a public school, but it's very different. So he's thrown into this new environment, and he's around all these high school kids, and he's just not used to this stuff. And he was a little shell shocked. So that was kind of different for him. But now he's grown and matured a little bit, and it doesn't bother him as much.
Well, that's how you know you raised him right.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so. We all hope so, right?
Just the fact that he
Yeah.
recognized it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, should make you feel good.
Yeah.
Seriously. All I hear is like my beer.
Lots
But
of
that's
beer.
a good sound.
It is good sound.
Lots of beer.
Lots of beer.
It's raining beer. Hallelujah. It's raining beer.
So you're going to the game tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
What time is it?
Noon.
It is at noon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I know. It's Florida, Tennessee. You throw out all records. You can't have records. It doesn't matter how crappy one team is. It's Florida, Tennessee.
But are you and Joe going? Or are you
All 4.
Ah.
All of us are going. Yeah, I have to bribe I have to bribe Hannah with an icy because she's going to
Aw.
be complaining the entire time. I don't like sports. This is boring. And then there's Halon, my little mini-me, who will probably be like, you suck, Tennessee. So I got to keep him grounded to be like, listen, dude, it's okay. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. That kid needs alcohol for any football game. I wish he could have it, but he can't because he's only 10. So, but he needs it. He needs it.
He is very cute when the sports are on, and he gets so into it. And he doesn't like all the other kids are like running around playing, and he's like, "No, I'm watching this game."
No, he'll talk to you about it. He'll talk to you about plays. He'll talk to you about players. He knows his stuff, and he's my football buddy. So he's even said it like, I love Dad. Dad's cool, but I'd rather watch the Gator game with you, Mom, because we're so much like each other, so emotional in the game. And it's funny is that like there are times that I want to get so like, "Rawr, what are you doing?" And then I see him getting really upset, and I'm like, oh, I got to be the adult, and I have to be like, it's okay, relax, listen, it's just a game. But in my head, I'm like, no, it's not a game. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Freaking, why aren't you throwing the ball in I'm thinking the same exact thing he's thinking. But, I got to be the parent. I got to be the adult. I have to be the role model. So I have to, try to, calm him down. It's okay. It's okay. But, no, man, that kid is his mom. He's me. Oh, my.
So are you the superstitious one in the house?
I am, which is why I was banned to my room last week's
I
game.
saw that.
Mhm. So he takes after me. Yeah, I couldn't take any more, so I was like, I'm gonna go in my room and I'm gonna take a shower, and maybe when I come out, some good things have happened. Well, some good things did happen, and Halon was like, you need to go back into your room because we played better when you were in there. And I was like, yes, sir, I'm on my way.
I wish my kids would do that to me. Mom, You need to go back into your room. Okay.
I came out.
Can I close the door too?
Oh, I
Can
had.
I do anything I want to?
I had bathroom. I was in the bathroom. He was like, "Go to the bathroom, Mom." It means I have to walk into my room, shut my door, and then walk into the bathroom and shut that door.
Spin around 3 times, spit in the sink.
Yep. Yeah. I sat there with my ears closed, and he wouldn't let me come out. I got to come out and see them miss the field goal. Kentucky missed their field goal, and then I was like, "Do you need me to go back again? Because there's still a lot of time on the clock." He's like, "Yes, go back into the room." I'm like,
Wait a minute. Do you have a TV in the bedroom?
I do, but I had it off.
In the bathroom,
Oh,
too.
Really?
man.
You will not watch the game?
fancy.
No, I don't want to even hear it. Bad
You
stuff
do.
happens.
I've seen you over here where all of a sudden you're like
Yes.
kind
Haven't
of.
you not? I will disappear, and that's not because I don't want to
Then
hang out.
why
with
are you
people.
going to the game tomorrow? Or is going to the game different than?
It is a little different.
Okay.
I'll handle it.
Okay.
They just better
Just
have their
close your eyes and pretend you're not there.
I've done that before.
Click your heels 3 times.
I had season tickets for all 4 years of my wonderful career at the University of Florida, and yes, there were a couple games that I had to hide between people in the stands and shut my ears and not listen and pray to God that when I got up, it was a different outcome.
I have never been to a football game before
No.
for UF. No. I've been to a basketball game,
Me
but no
either.
football game.
They're fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been to. Let's see. I've been to a volleyball game, and I've been to a football game.
I've been to like 2 professional football games, Jaguars, and lots and lots and lots of little kid football games. Those are fun.
The little guys.
Those are fun.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Both your guys playing football?
Right now, just Gage, but they've both played
They've
football.
both played.
Yeah.
Shoot, Reed was here the other week, and he was talking about how you just, constantly do the go to practice, come back home, go to practice, take this one to this place, this one to this place,
It's ridiculous.
like constant.
Yeah, but it's so worth it. Tuesday nights, Gage is first string defense this year. He's in 8th grade, and he is nose guard, which is very, very important.
So break it down for anyone who's listening. Even if this gets aired, you know what we didn't do?
What?
We'll do it after.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm
nose
agreeing.
guard.
Whatever
What-
it is, I'm agreeing to it.
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I believe he is directly behind the guy with the ball. So
the guy that the center.
Yeah. So on defense, and he's got to like break through the line, and he's very, very good at his job. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a proud mom, but I am totally a proud mom. I'm like,
Well, his build is, and if he's got the speed, he's perfect for it because he can slide right in between those
Yeah.
big bitches.
he's very strong for his age, but he works out like year round. And right now, like it's kind of ridiculous because last week fall ball for baseball started, so he is doing football 5 days a week from 3:30 to 6, and then 2 days a week he's going straight from football practice, walking to the baseball fields, and having baseball till 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Like that kid is out all day long.
Going.
I feel a little bad for him, but at the same time, like
Is this him?
you're not
trying-
going to do this when you're an adult. Like this is the time to do this. So
when you have the energy to do it.
yeah.
That's
Mom doesn't have energy, but
I have enough to get you there and get you home. That's
Right.
about it.
But he's figuring out what he wants to. Because they kind of play a little bit of. You try to get them to play as much as what they can, and then when they hit high school, then it's like okay,
Mm-hmm.
now you're gonna. But then again, football and baseball, they're clear opposite seasons once you get into school.
No,
Right?
not really. I mean, he plays rec baseball, which Caden does too, and he loves baseball. They're on the same team this year for the first and probably only time in their lives they'll be on the same baseball team together. But football for middle school is going on right now. It'll be over end of October, and then middle school baseball will start in, I think it's January. They'll have tryouts.
Right. So actual games are. The seasons are different,
Yeah.
but they're still training
right.
and practicing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And their baseball coach, one of his sons is also playing football with Gage. So he's like, I promise we won't have anything going on game nights. So we don't have to worry about anything conflicting. So that's nice.
Yeah. I remember doing all the high school sports. You guys did you do sports?
I swam in middle school for 2 years, but nothing in high school. I sang in high school
There you
all
go.
4 years. Yeah.
I was a 4-year varsity soccer player.
That's
so.
right.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
badass.
That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
and I played way before that too. But yeah,
You did the soccer thing.
I did the travel team. I did travel
Yeah.
for soccer
Oh, wow.
and and then varsity soccer. Yeah, so
Kim, did you run? Did you do?
So I did cross country for a little bit, but I was a band geek. I did marching band,
what instrument?
clarinet.
Nice.
Yeah. 10
Wow.
years.
They tried to get me to do cross country.
Oh, I love it.
I
I love it. I still run to this day.
Hey, that's awesome. I had a couple of different coaches in high school for varsity, but the coach I had probably for the longest, she was also the cross country coach. And so cross country was the season before soccer. So you had cross country and then soccer happened. And I remember her trying to get me to do cross country.
Because it was off.
She
yeah.
called me over the summer and was like, "Hey, Lauren, just to let you know, we're going to be," and just as a background, most of my friends who I played soccer with also did cross country.
Right.
So they were
The
also
good
doing
runners.
it. Mm-hmm.
So did
Yeah,
you do in soccer real quick? Did you do mid?
I played everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends on what team you're talking to me about. What was it? Travel? Was it high school?
No.
Which-
When the cross country coach was trying to get you in high school, were you playing like mid?
I was probably
Because that'd be great
I was
training.
probably forward
thinking that.
midfield. And she knew how I could run. And I remember calling me over the summer, high schoolers, over the summer. Hey, we're going to be meeting at like 6 a.m. to start training for cross country, to condition for cross country. I was like, that's great. Have a wonderful time. I'm going to be sleeping. It never. She tried. I give her lots of credit. She tried to get me to do it. I never did it. I hated to run. I played soccer. I hated running. I still hate running, but I still do it because I have to. But yeah, no. So that's why I'm like, anybody I meet who did cross country, you guys rock. 'Cause nope.
No way.
Mm,
I did
no.
the volleyball thing for all through high school and a couple years of middle school, and then the main thing was the hockey thing. I did the hockey thing from 5th grade to 12th. Well, 18, 19. I was actually out of school, still playing hockey. It was fun. It was the best. You talk about travel. Like I wasn't able to do. There wasn't a travel like volleyball team out in the country, but did more of the hockey thing, and we traveled with that. And we were able to go to like nationals up in Des Moines, and regionals was always in Pensacola. So we did some traveling. In the soccer thing, you traveled
Oh yeah.
all over the place.
All over the state.
Yeah.
It came to a point where, and I think about this with my kids, since I've got the one who's really into sports and doing baseball, and you have that whole rec travel competition going on of which is better, rec ball, travel ball, like how early you put them in travel. And I remember specifically when I hit high school, there was at a point where I was still playing club at the same time I was playing varsity sports. And, you're a high schooler. I was like 15, 16 years old. I wanted a social life. When I came home after school, if there was a Friday night football game and the travel team that I had been playing with that I had just made, he decided to make practices Friday evenings. Well, this is during the fall. We have football games. We have homecoming. Like, there was the whole part of being a teenager, having that teenage high school life. And I was missing out on that because I have to go 45 minutes to practice for about 3 hours for a travel team. And it just came to a point where I was like, I didn't want to play club anymore. I didn't want to play travel ball. I would just do varsity, which was fine. I had no problems just doing varsity soccer. I loved soccer. I still love it to this day. I wish I could play it. But it just came to a point where I wanted to have that social teenage life. I wanted to go out with my friends to the football game and then go see a movie afterwards. And
Right.
I wanted to be able to get ready for homecoming. I just wanted to be a teenager, and it just became so much that I just didn't want to do anymore. I was kind of done. Varsity was enough for me. After school there were games, and then it was just that season. I wasn't playing year round anymore. And it was my choice. I I want to go have fun. And
Yeah.
be a high schooler and have those memories that everybody talks about. And, you know, that's what I try to remember with my kids now, that, you know, there's so much out there and pushing kids as younger to, you know, do so much training for a certain sport when they're like 7, 8, 9 years old. You know, but by the time they get to be a teenager, they may not even want to do it anymore. And then they've lost out on this time of, you know, being a kid. You know?
Right.
You know, Halon still wants to go home and play Fortnite. He doesn't want to spend 4 hours at a field practicing a sport somewhere all year long. He wants to go play on his PS4. He should. He's 10.
Right.
So I get that. I understand. I'm with you, Halon.
So talking about, I gotta ask. I gotta bring it up. I gotta ask. So last week, or last podcast, the guys were talking about trans.
Oh no.
I gotta ask. I gotta get.
Trans Ams?
Listen, they
What?
put me.
Cars?
You don't understand.
We're talking cars?
No.
Trans Ams?
So they listen. I gotta ask. They
I do
put
not
me
have
on
a
the.
Pontiac Trans Am.
If you haven't listened to the second episode of podcasts, you're definitely. They put me on the freaking spot. It was 3 guys, and they're talking about it. So I gotta ask. I gotta ask you guys, because we got 4 girls. The whole thing about trans competing in women's sports. I heard a huff. I love it.
Nope. It's a flat no.
Right?
Flat no.
Listen, okay, so I'm okay with whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. But if you're going to play a sport, that should be like a class. That's its own, like, division.
Right.
Like, fight for your own thing. Okay, now you've made the fight to get in. All right, you're in. Now make your own freaking, like, division, right? I don't know. Anybody?
Trans division.
Well, and it doesn't, I mean, then they'll say, oh, let's segregate it. Well, come on, you got class it should still, it's not I don't know, what do you guys think?
Well, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, but physically, you know, men and women are built differently.
Yeah,
No matter how you look at it, if you feel like a woman, but you're built like a man, you're stronger in your upper body.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is.
Right, it's facts of life. It's called, what?
So if you're doing...
It's called fucking anatomy.
If you're an
just
MMA
biology.
fighter, you know, and you're like in the
Science.
UFC and you're like whooping ass for a living, and you're a man as a woman, that's not to say that there's not a lot of women out there that are tough enough to take somebody that's, you know, stronger and bigger, but it's just not the same. It's not equal. It's not fair.
Well, the other thing that came out, what was it? It was a wrestler. A wrestler. Now, could you imagine the body build of and being a wrestler? Now, granted, I think she placed second, all right? But, so, she did get beat by a natural-born female, but she still got second.
She or he, she?
Well, I'm being...
Specifically, in this instance...
The girl...
So hard to answer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be, like, I don't want to, listen, the girl that was naturally born a female with a vagina got gold, and she, the one that was born without a vagina, got second. So the female, quote unquote, still beat her.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think different class.
That's just...
Different division. I
I'm
should
with
say
you.
different division, right?
If
You shouldn't
yeah.
say class.
If you're feeling a certain way, I'm all about that. Live your life. Do your thing.
right.
But when you're putting yourself into categories like where you're competing,
Yep. All right.
it just
It needs
doesn't...
to be fair.
Yeah, it just
Like it
doesn't...
does.
It's not the same.
Very.
They
well,
want fairness, but that's not fairness.
I just had to ask because I got put on the spot the other week, and I was like, well, let me get some other females' perspective of it instead of just being the only female at the table having to answer. Anyways, so yeah, good times. So Nick's been doing this for freaking every freaking Friday night. He's out here.
I still don't know how he does it.
You do know how he does it?
No, I don't.
You don't know
I
how he
don't
does
even-
it.
I don't know how he does this.
Does this,
This scares me.
the podcast?
Well, yeah. There's a mic in my face, and there's headphones, and
It's a little intense.
it is.
It is a little weird. Especially being on the spot.
Under pressure.
Pressure.
That's the other thing is that
me. we need music.
I
Where's
know.
where's the
That's-
person putting the? Where's the guy? Like, don't they have people that are on the radios? Like, I know this is not radio.
the
this is not
sound
podcast.
guy.
Yes, who like
The
puts those
friggin-
little clips of like little music and
Little zingers and things like
Yeah.
that.
I feel like we need that.
Well, shit. What's really bad is usually when we're hanging out on the porch like this, bullshitting and talking, we have music going. Like
Yeah.
That's
we
true.
have the radio
It's the
playing
background.
in the background, but
Yep.
copyright. Can't hear it. You know, can't play it.
We should just have someone singing and it's all the music.
What's the rule for copyright? Isn't it like over 10 years or something, or 20 years of the song?
Oh,
has
I
been
thought
out?
if it was more than like 15 seconds or 20 seconds of a song.
Oh, I thought it was by
Like-
years of when it's been produced.
Oh,
and, like,
well, I'll
published.
bust out some 50s.
I'm not.
I don't mind listening to 50s music.
Girl, I can sing
like
some
60s.
50s. I got it all. I know it all.
I could listen to 60s too.
You're talking to a band geek.
You play it all.
Yeah.
Oh my! Did you hear about the band getting jumped?
Yeah, like the
Does that-
director.
Yeah.
For the Miami game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the band. I'm here thinking a band like at like one of our local places getting jumped. I was like, what band got jumped? Oh, you mean the marching band?
Of course, marching band.
I was like, when you said I'm a band geek, I was like, well,
Oh,
yeah, what
man.
bands? Really? But now I'm here. Lauren's with the conversation now.
Oh, I didn't really
Marching
explain.
band. I'm
But-
sorry. You got to remember, we've been, I've been living with a band guy, but it's a different band. So when I hear the word band, marching band is not
Not-
my first.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not my
So you
first.
know, I see a reunion in that future. Like at some point, somehow, it's gonna be at somebody's birthday party
Duh.
or somebody's like.
Duh.
It's gonna happen.
Duh.
It can be me and
Yeah.
Cody's wedding.
Aha! They'd do it. Of course, Nick would only want to do it. He'd be like, "Well, yeah, I have no problem doing it, but just for a short amount of time." They did Luke's wedding, didn't they? Didn't
Yep,
they play
they
like
did.
a couple songs there?
They did. They played Luke's wedding.
That's what I thought.
It was hot as hell.
It was super hot.
I was sweating in places I didn't think could sweat, but oh my god, they sweat. Just to let you all know.
It was
It doesn't matter what kind of a short, this is
It
back when
all
I was like
sweats.
really skinny and I was I lost a lot of weight and I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear this dress.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, I still sweated everywhere. It was all over. It was dripping.
It was a
Mm-mm.
pretty little beach. I mean, it was a beach wedding. It was pretty.
Yeah, it was. No,
But-
it was.
Yeah, I would have loved some of those fans at sports events or at theme parks. That
I-
miss the water.
I needed one attached to like
That would have
my-
been amazing.
My little girl areas.
Like just
It was
fanning
hot.
the crotch.
Yes.
Let's just fan the
Ah.
crotch.
See, I don't like the mist. It pisses me off.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
it pisses me off. Yeah. Like, especially during childbirth, the fucking wet cloth they put on your forehead.
Oh
It
no, I don't. That's
me off
completely
so
different than a
bad.
misting
I was like,
fan.
don't
Did,
fucking
did,
touch
did I
me.
did I miss something? I never got a wet cloth.
You've been traumatized.
I don't remember having a wet cloth.
I didn't
either.
have a
I
wet
did.
cloth. That's
I
what
had
I'm
ice
saying.
chips.
I
That was-
remember
Ice
ice
chips.
chips.
My mother's
Yeah.
been a labor and delivery nurse for like 40
I
years.
never
so.
got a wet cloth. I got to
Yeah.
watch my husband eat food in front of me when I couldn't have
Oh,
food.
man.
Ooh, and it smelled pretty good, but I was probably really hungry, so who knows. He was like, "Oh, this chicken sandwich is really
Uh-oh.
yummy." And I was like, "Yeah, you suck."
Nick left the hospital and actually went and got my teddy bear,
Aww.
and I was freaking 22.
Aww.
But he went home and he got my teddy bear
No,
How
don't-
long have you had this teddy bear?
since I was 2.
Aw.
So almost
How old are you?
34 years.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Bow,
No,
bow.
not 34.
Oh, well, I'm not the baby anymore. Remember how we'd always hang out and I was like the baby? That's Kim over here.
Oh, I know
Am
that.
I the baby?
You,
Mhm.
yeah, 'cause Mandy, we're the same.
God.
I'm either
Yeah.
31 or 32.
Oh
I don't know.
I need another drink.
We established
Remember.
this before this.
I need a drink.
Need a beer?
People, I need alcohol.
I got to piss.
Like, damn it.
So I'll grab you a beer.
I'm
and
gonna be
I'm going to go
30.
pee.
I'm gonna be 38 in November. 38. You know, my 20th is next year. My 20th reunion.
See, after 25, I start going backwards until I hit 20,
I'm just-
and then I go forward again, and it just goes back and forth. Like, you never get into your actual 30s. So,
Gosh, I'm close to 40. You all are at the beginning. Enjoy these years at the beginning, because they go by fast, and then you get to where I am, and then you're like, how the hell am I close to 40?
see, I'm good with my 30s. Like, 25, for some reason, was really hard on me mentally, but, like, 30 was probably my favorite year.
30 was good.
My favorite
And
birthday,
then- and
my
then I-
favorite year. We were good. Like, it was just a good year.
Yeah.
30 was good, and then I got over 30, and then, yeah.
I think that when you're in your 30s, like, you take less bullshit from people.
Yeah, you just don't give a fuck
I agree.
anymore.
I agree.
You're like, you don't like me? Well, good. I don't like you
I
either.
just know
Let's
my
just
body
establish
hurts.
this. Yeah. Well,
ab-
yeah, that too.
I absolutely
But-
agree with
But
that.
your body hurts. But now you have excuses to go and get massages because we're older
Very
now.
true.
So, you know,
Yeah,
that's a thing you
very
do.
true.
They still cost money.
They do.
I need
but,
one really bad.
You know, self-care.
Don't get a $45 massage. It is not worth it. I'm going to tell you
No.
that right now.
Oh, crap, I'm never going to get a massage then.
I'm in the self-care business. So it's very important to take care of yourselves.
Yeah, I average about 2 haircuts a year. So, beginning of the year, end of the year.
If that, for me.
You guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mandy.
Sorry. I mean, I want to, but, you know.
It's my livelihood.
I can't.
So, Mandy, the last time I had my hair cut was by you a year ago.
No.
When you first put the streaks in my hair. It was last year. And which
We've
was
touched them up since then.
No, actually, it's been more than a year. No, you haven't trimmed it since then.
See?
Oh, you mean
year.
You've touched, yeah.
We touched up the color.
You trimmed it August of freaking, yeah, see?
Okay, so here.
So you ready to cut my hair? Because I'm ready. I'm seeing the
I
ends.
I'm
am
ready to.
moving
No.
from my salon into a suite on my own.
Ooh,
That's
yes,
what I did before I
yes.
moved here. So it's freaking awesome. Okay, I went out Monday with the owner to pick out a chandelier for my room.
Aw.
It's so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
The owner, he's so like, what do you want in your room? Oh, you want this, this, and this? Okay, you can have it. I'll do it for you. My old place, we had to do it ourselves.
Right.
Basic lighting. So nice. So you can be my first client in my new place.
Yay! I'm there. Let me know. Because I'm due. I'm going to throw some colors and
So
back into it.
excited. It's hard whenever you're in a place where you're not that I'm not happy where I'm at, but you lose passion, you know, when
Yeah.
you're not in a place that motivates you
Mhm.
and moves you to do the things that you love. So I've never lost passion for what I do. I've lost passion for where I do it.
Right.
So now I'm getting back into that. Okay, this place is going to be mine. Everything is going to be, you know, my vision. And I'm super pumped.
How close is it to the last place? I
Right
mean,
down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really close.
That's going to be awesome. Taking care. You know what I
Yes.
started doing? Actually, not a haircut, but I've actually now twice this year gone and gotten a pedicure.
Okay, I haven't done that in like 2 years.
I got
Listen.
my first pedicure for my birthday.
Really?
Ever. Yes, this year.
Listen, I am 100% like if to spend some money because I'm not good. There are some women that can do home care. You know, at home, you know, you have your stone in the shower, you have your this or the that. Listen, there's some women that do it. I don't. And let me tell you, I went up there and the shit that he scraped off my feet, I was like, all right, I'm now going to get this done at least twice a year. I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to treat myself that way. But should I say it and then I never do it? So who knows?
Yeah, the mani and pedi thing, that's something that I have not treated myself to in well over a decade because I have the license to do it myself and all the stuff to do it myself. And so I can't, like,
Bring
myself to pay someone else to do the things that I can do myself. But Have you ever heard of the baby feet? It's a bag that comes with some stuff already in it, and you put it on your feet and you sit with it for like an hour. You take it off, and in about a week, it takes like a full 7 days, your feet start peeling. Okay, you're like shedding skin like a lizard. It's ridiculous.
Ew.
You're not supposed to
Like
peel it off.
All week long? Every
Like,
day?
it takes pretty much a full 6-7 days for it to start.
Sounds so gross.
And then once it starts, it is gross, and you're not supposed to touch it. But once your feet are done with this shedding process, like my feet used to be so rough. I would get into bed and like you could hear it crackle on the blankets, and Reed would be like, "Oh my God, ouch, ouch, you touched me with your foot," you know, because they were rough. I wear sandals year round. We live in Florida. Like I don't wear shoes unless I'm working out. My feet were so soft.
Really?
And it was like 6 full months of soft, baby soft feet. It was a beautiful thing.
I may have to invest in these bags.
So it's like $11 on Amazon.
Oh, that's way
Not
better
bad.
than the $40 I
Yeah.
paid for the pedicure.
So worth it. So worth
But the
it.
amount of shit that came off on that cheese grater looking thing.
Hey, be careful with that too. If you go to a nail salon,
Oh, they'll go too deep.
if they're using like a razor or a grater of any kind,
Mhm.
you have to kind of be careful of that because you can actually make it worse. And those things are really hard to sterilize, so you can get a fungus if you're not careful.
Well, I did see that they had like a little autoclave thing there. Who knows if they actually do it? One would
That's
hope.
good.
And they were pretty soft afterwards.
Yeah.
And nothing was growing. But
Well, that's good.
now you may have just scared
was
me into
growing.
getting the fucking bag.
I'm just really leery of that kind of thing because in school,
Right.
we learned about all the different kinds of, foot funguses and different types of things you can catch in the nail salon. And that's not to say that there's not clean nail salons. There are plenty that you're fine with, but
Mhm.
like I just know too much. I've seen too much in the textbooks.
'Cause I think Nick does the same thing where he's like, we'll go to a restaurant or we'll do something, and he just knows too much about the restaurant world that all of a sudden it's like, no, we're not doing that,
We can't eat here.
He just knows.
It's not
he
happening.
You check the grades, the health inspections. I've had people like, oh, this place that we went to, it's really, really good. Oh, well, we call that the feeding trough because they've gotten like a D the last 4 times. It's like, oh, really? Oh, well, I really like that place, but now I think I can't go there.
I don't know. I'll take my chances. I don't care.
It depends. What's on the menu?
We'll call out of work. Sorry, I got food poisoning. I'm good.
I am such a
I'm gonna be home
foodie.
for today. Me too.
I love food so
Fat
much.
girl at heart. I don't care.
Talking about food is like, it's like foreplay to me. I can talk about food in a way that you can be across the room and your mouth will just start to water and you'll be like, I wasn't hungry, but now, God, I need that. I need whatever it is that you're talking about. I can't even. So I started this book club maybe a couple months ago, and we meet once a month. And every time we get together, we try a new restaurant in town, which is really fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so whoever picks the book, they pick the restaurant. So we've been trying to like do different places. Man, it's so much fun.
To eat at
So
the
much
different
fun.
places,
Yes,
picking different things.
Last month we went to a place that had like this just case full of cakes and cheesecakes and just
Hell yes.
they're beautiful. Like everyone's got these big, like you've got a big piece of like this super chocolate cake, and I've got this like cheesecake that's just it's like 7 layers of fudge and like brownie and then cheesecake and then some other kind of chocolate mousse. It's
Holy
ridiculous.
shit! I think
It's
my mouth
so-
just started getting.
I know.
Like, moist.
Let them eat
She got
cake.
to the third ingredient, and I was
telling
like,
you.
"Shit, is my mouth getting wet?"
It's decadent. It's so it's almost too decadent. It's
And what
so
was the
good.
name of this place?
This place was called the Gondolier. The food was so, but the cakes were
On
on point. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we try different restaurants every time, and we just have fun. It's so
So,
much fun. We do talk about books too. We do. Promise.
What was the last book y'all read?
Oh gosh. Let's see. Now you got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first book we read, it was a mystery. It was like a murder mystery, and you had to ask me. Now I can't think of the name.
I know. Like, I seen the one with the lovely bones, and I read that book like a couple years ago.
I
and
love
it's
that
a really
book.
good book.
That one. That is the last one that we read. Yes. Another one that everyone should read is Gone Girl. Have you guys read that one?
No, isn't that a movie?
They made it into a movie. It's a
That's
book first.
with
Ben Affleck. Yep.
and what's the little blonde kid's name that was on How I Met Your Mother? Is that guy in it? Fitzpatrick something? I don't know.
No.
I might be
don't
thinking of
think
the
so.
wrong movie.
Oh, no, Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes, thank you.
It was like, you said little kid. I was like, what little kid?
Sorry, he looked
He
like a little
acts
kid
like a
to
little
me.
kid.
He was.
He's
In
my
that
little
movie,
kid.
not.
Neil Patrick Harris. Yes, he was in it.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, I've seen that movie.
Okay, so the first book that we read was by an author called Shari Lapina. And let me see. I'm looking it up right now so I can recall. The Unwanted Guest. Okay, so like have you ever read like a murder mystery, like a whodunit legit murder mystery?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you a name.
They're in a
Was it,
hotel.
like Agatha Christie.
All these people are coming to this hotel, and like all of a sudden someone's been killed, but you can't, like, it looks like it could be an accident, but you
Right.
know that it's not because, you know, obviously you're reading it for a reason. Very, very good. Like really good.
Really good book.
Yeah, it gets you going. And she wrote A Stranger in the House and The Couple Next Door. All mystery thriller type books. Really, really good. Fast reads. Like very, very good. I very much enjoyed her.
See, some people's fast reads are like, how many pages? How many pages would you say a fast read would be? Because I'm like,
Probably 200-300.
oh, okay, that could be
Yeah,
definitely.
it's not that bad.
that's
Pretty quick.
yeah, that's
I
definitely.
think
a-
of fast read, and I'm like, it takes me 6 months to read a book because I
Oh.
fall asleep every time I open it up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'll read
can't.
like 3 pages and I'm out, done.
That's
That's
my
it.
favorite time to read.
I
All the kids
know.
are in bed.
But then I have to reread everything the next day because I don't remember a goddamn thing out of it.
So the last couple of times which was a long time ago, that I would read, I would lay in bed, and it was almost as bad as having the TV on.
Yeah.
Like, it would keep me up. Well, no, it would keep me up.
Oh,
like,
no.
because I'd be like, well, wait, what are they going to do? And so I'd push myself to stay up a little bit later than what I really should, and then I'd fall asleep. But,
See, if I sit on the couch and watch that TV, I'm out 5 minutes, done.
Depends
Like,
on what
I'll-
I'm watching.
I'll fall asleep before the kids are in bed. I'm
Oh,
like, Cody,
really?
you got it.
I do that.
Like, I'm done. And
I
I
do
wake up
that.
at like 1 in the morning. I'm like, oh, hey.
That's
they're
the
in
nice
bed.
thing about having kids that are old enough
Yeah.
to put themselves to bed,
Yeah.
because it's like, even on school nights, like the kids have a bedtime of 10 and they're pretty responsible with it. So I can be like, okay, I'm going to go put the baby to bed because Ava, she's almost 2. She's got to go to bed like 8 o'clock-ish, and I lay down with her. The snuggle time is just the best. But I'll take her with me to bed, and I don't mean to fall asleep, but I do
Mm-hmm.
because I'm tired as shit because I wake up at like 5:45, 6
Me
o'clock
too.
every morning.
Yeah.
Amen.
But the boys, like, even if Reed wasn't there to tell them, come 10 o'clock, they're already in bed, going to sleep. Like, I've got them trained. It's really nice.
my guys would stay up until like 1 o'clock in the morning, easy. I don't know. Riley's been exhausted enough that she's actually been going to bed. But I think if they had that leeway and I wasn't there to be like, okay, it's bedtime. That's it. Shut it down.
Like, it's time.
Yeah, I'm done. I think it's more of a I'm done than they
Mhm.
actually even need to go to bed.
Yeah.
How are your guys, Lauren?
If during the week they're actually pretty good because they're tired, but the weekend it's almost like they know the switch happens. It's like it's weekend, it's Friday.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! I'm up till 1. Doesn't matter. They've been up since Halon has been up since 5:45. Hannah gets to sleep in because she's in middle school. So, But no, weekdays they're good. They'll want to go to bed. They're tired. They go to sleep. Weekends they are.
They're up
ready to
ripping and
par-
tearing.
If one of them is texting me right now, wanting a friend to come spend the night at this moment, and I'm just like, no.
So do you know my
But
golden
it's
rule?
Friday, Mom.
Oh my! So I have this beautiful golden rule that is friggin' 24-hour notice. 24-hour notice. I have a 24-hour notice rule. So if you want a friend to come over, or you want to go somewhere, you want a friend to spend the night, it's like, did you ask me yesterday?
Yeah.
Don't spring it on me.
Then
Not
no.
on the spot.
Yeah, I can't. I
And
won't
not
do.
in front of them.
I'm not doing the spring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have no problem
My
saying
dad
no
used to
right in
bitch
front of.
me out for that. He'd be like, "Do not ask me on the spot in front of your friend. Whatever you do." He's like, "My answer will always be no if they're
Yep.
standing right there." And I'm like, "Damn it, I learned."
You learned though.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Gosh, I think my parents said the exact same thing.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of kids that stay over. We're pretty good about like keeping it, you know. The
Yeah.
kids have just recently started asking me if they can have friends over on the weekend. And I'm like, sure, you know, you can have friends over tomorrow.
Right.
And then they just don't. They
Never
just
happens.
don't. They don't
Mine
ask.
too.
They forget.
They're like, well, cool. All right, cool. I can, but I don't want to. I'd rather just hang out.
I give them. You have to clean your room up and down before they come, and then they're just like, "No, I'm good."
You
Okay.
scrub the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then you can have friends over. And
Yeah.
You can't have friends over if the toilet looks like that.
These seriously sound like
trying to pawn
exact
it off.
conversations that are happening, like in my freaking house. Like I swear to God, I think
Can
I'm.
so come over? What's the toilet look like? You know, I'm not like crazy about the house being like spotless perfect. I mean, we live with a lot of people. We live with Reed's mom and stepdad, and they're pretty clean people, you know. So, but we don't have like problems with keeping things the way that they should be for the most part. But you know, when you're having people come over like to spend the night, it's like that's different. They're not here for just an hour.
Yeah.
They're here overnight.
They're gonna go home and tell their parents what they
They're
saw.
gonna be in the
So-
closets, pulling out all the toys.
It's the bathroom though, because like I don't know about you guys, but with boys,
Yeah.
I don't know what they do in there. I really don't.
I don't
because
wanna
when
know.
I go in there, no, you don't want to know. We do know, but we don't want to know.
Wait a minute.
I clean the toilets, and I'm wiping down the walls, and I'm washing the damn thing, the carpet thing that goes around the, you
Yep,
know,
around
you know
the
what I'm talking
toilet.
about, the little
Yeah.
toilet rug.
Oh yeah, I got rid of that
or
rug.
if we don't
So
have
I
that,
just
I'm
bought
wiping
one.
it.
Fuck that
I'm
rug.
looking at the wall though, going,
Just bought
why
one.
is the wall yellow? Why? Why is the wall
Pee on the
yellow?
wall?
It's like
How
a,
is this even? Like, I don't get it. Take
the
pride in your
backside.
aim here.
like behind the toilet bowl, like on the
Yeah.
wall. It's just like, really? What the? How the?
What are
just
you
get in
looking at when you're not? Why is this so hard
Not
for you?
the toilet.
I find toothpaste on the back of the wall. I'm like, what are you
Yeah.
guys doing with the toothpaste?
Like
How
they're
does-
flinging their
They shake
toothbrush
their
around.
toothbrush off in
I'm
the
guessing.
sink.
Is that what it is?
But it's on
Yeah.
the wall, and it's like
on the
behind
wall,
the sink.
on the
and I'm
mirror.
like,
Is it toothpaste?
it's
I mean, I know with
no,
puberty,
it's
they're like,
minty.
you know, when
No.
you're. Oh, okay.
It's toothpaste.
Well, I
That's not
mean,
what
it
I
is
meant.
blue.
That's not actually what I meant.
We all went there though.
Y'all went there fast.
It's toothpaste. Okay.
I was thinking, you know, when you're like, you got a Z or something and you pop it in the mirror and it like,
No,
that's
that's definitely
You
not what
guys
I was
went there
thinking.
really
it was
fast.
toothpaste.
Didn't even think about it.
Nope.
Now
Zip,
that
what?
though, that part of it, like my kid, like you've been in the bathroom for an hour. What are you doing? Like
Really?
you are not allowed to bring your phone in the bathroom anymore. What are you doing in there for an hour? I gotta poo. You've pooed 3 times today. What are you really doing?
Is
No,
there
don't tell
something
me.
wrong? Do I-
Don't tell me.
Do we need to go to the doctors?
Yeah. You know what's so Anthony, he I don't know what it is, and I don't, you know, I probably don't even need to know, but he really does not like going to like Hooters or Wing House to eat.
Well, I'm sure it's awkward.
It's
Like,
because you're there.
Super awkward.
for him.
But the thing
Mhm.
is that it's like, no, but he does that with Nick too. Nick
you-
and him can
yeah.
just go, and he's still like if the waitress comes up, he will not look at her.
It's a parental thing
Well,
because
it's
my
from
boys were like that
parents.
too.
Yeah.
Like Gage was super embarrassed. Took him to Wing House and had them come out and sing Happy Birthday. Oh my gosh, so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Mom and Dad,
Like,
no, go away.
it's okay.
Yeah.
If they were there with their friends, it'd be totally different.
You really think?
I
don't
really do.
know.
I agree.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
do.
I do.
It's not just you and it's not just Nick.
Mhm.
It's not like a mom dad. It's
the
mom
freedom.
and dad.
It's parents.
Yeah.
It's the parent thing.
Mhm.
No matter how cool you are, because you are cool. Like I feel like we're all cool. We.
Hopefully.
If you ask our children that,
I say
they're
what
like,
my mom used
"No."
to say. I'm a cool mom. Like I am, but
I'm not a cool mom.
we're still mom and dad.
Mhm.
That's what it
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
So just have Joe take them one time.
We'll just send all the 13-year-old
Fix everything.
boys to Hooters
I'm send Oakley with
without
them.
us. We'll just send them all.
We'll send Joe and Cody.
Start when he's
over.
6. When he's 6.
Like
There you
I
go.
don't. I would love to test that theory.
When they start
I would
driving,
seriously
we'll send
love
them.
to test that theory because I don't know. I really still think that Anthony would be like, even with dudes, like even with guy friends of his, like or boys his age. I really do.
Well, and you have to wait for puberty to really, really kick in too, because right now, like, it's still a tentative thing at that age when you're not like sure of things. Like, they haven't had their first kiss. They're probably not holding hands. You know, they've got crushes, but they don't know what to say to them. It's an awkward thing for them at that age. I'm telling you, that's
I'm
what
trying
it
to
is.
think about myself in 8th grade, and I'm like,
But you're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is
trying to
what
think
Reed
of my
tells me
first
all the
kiss.
time. You're a girl. It's not the same. And I'm like,
It
no,
isn't.
but he's like, no, it's just not.
oh,
Unless
so-
your husband's Joe.
Only you.
then you get different
These
stories.
different stories.
I'm sure he's gonna laugh when he hears this, but it's the truth.
You really think the men are going to be listening this far into it?
Probably.
They'll lose interest.
Yeah.
That's probably why we wait till now to talk about the good stuff. you
Right.
know?
Or maybe they'll know that
Little
and they'll
warm up.
fast forward through all the boring laundry stuff.
Maybe. Or they're just troopers. They're just good troopers.
I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
think-
I made it halfway through theirs and I ran out of time. I really did. I
I
meant
think
to
I made
listen
it.
to it all.
15 minutes.
But Cody and Nick in there made me feel like I need to listen to the rest of it when I walked in.
you guys.
Yeah.
Did Reed tell you about that
So-
story?
Maybe you
so
should.
apparently, yeah.
What story?
So
Uh-oh.
I will say like on our messages and you know Nick was saying maybe you guys should listen to the recent podcast and it'll give you some ideas, and he kept going like ... LOL. So of course it starts to make you think, well, what did you guys talk about? And I asked Joe, I was like, Joe, when you got home I asked you, what did you guys talk about? And he was like, oh, we talked about some music, we talked about our kids, you know. And I was just like, well, did you talk about anything that I need to know about? And he's like, no, not really. And then Nick sent the message again, and I was like, dude, Joe, I don't believe you. What did you guys talk about? And he's like, we didn't talk about anything. And so when I asked Nick about it, he said, no, you read those texts, like you read those messages in the right tone. It was just for the wrong person. It wasn't for me.
Uh-oh.
Apparently it was for you,
Uh-oh.
Mandy.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh,
Oh, man.
so it wasn't me. But I
Poor
understood.
Reed. We're throwing him under the bus.
Sorry.
I was going to listen to it eventually.
Eventually.
Now
All
you're
of
like,
it, all of it.
Now you're like,
now you have to.
now you're
Listen,
like, I got a nice drive
let me-
home. I guess I need to put this thing on.
I got a long drive home, you guys.
Mhm.
Since I was kind of sitting in the chair, like off to the
Uh-oh.
corner, watching him, kind of. Let me just reassure you that it's. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it because it's really funny.
It's not
It's-
that bad.
It's really funny.
Listen, I've been with Reed for, let's see, okay. So today is the 20th. In 5 days, it'll be our 14th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And we've been together that plus like 4 more years.
Mhm.
So there's not a lot he could say to my face or behind my back that I wouldn't be I'm not going to be shocked, I don't think.
I don't think you'll be shocked, but I could
Just
see
gonna be
a
like, what the fuck?
what?
Wait,
I
what
heard
happened?
I heard the story about the Bonnaroo pizza but I already knew
No,
about
no,
that.
Not that
That's
one.
not it.
No.
And for anyone else, if this actually gets aired, for anyone else, if you haven't heard it, go find it on
Oh, you
episode 3.
guys. I'll be
It
back.
is
I'm going to go listen
hilarious.
to it really fast.
You'll have to wait till we're done, and then we'll be able to bullshit about it. We could seriously talk about it. Let you know. You could tell us how you really feel.
Okay.
Off the record.
Right. No, I bet you whenever we're done, we can be done whenever we want to be done. But whenever we're done, we'll listen to it so you can hear it. So that way,
Because you know where to go for it.
well, I mean,
AKA, we don't want to listen to the whole thing.
well, Nick
Right,
can't
right.
be. I mean, the guys have got to be coming back soon. So we'll
I
have
think they
to.
forgot that we were out here. I haven't seen hide or hair.
Well, that's the point. They're supposed to be off doing their own fucking shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Away from. Yeah.
Well, they've done a good job of that.
It has been nice.
Mm-hmm.
We love our men.
Yes, we do.
You know what's great is that we love them, but we could smack them around every once in a while.
We could.
We could, but they would probably like it.
That's
I don't know. I don't think mine would like it
that's
very
the
much.
freaking truth. I don't know.
He's an
You
asshole.
smack him the right way, and
I
he could.
know mine would.
He's an asshole, but he's my asshole, so I love him. Either
God.
way.
You gotta wipe that asshole sometimes, though.
I have.
Could you imagine?
Kidding? I take that back. I'm kidding.
Could you imagine? Like,
Honey, I'm just kidding.
Damn
I'm
it.
sorry. Shh.
could you imagine, like, right beforehand? Because I know none of us have ever done it. Could you imagine right beforehand, like, just popping them right in the face?
Oh, I've done that.
Have you really?
I did that with my ex-husband. Oh, it was fucking fantastic.
So now here's the question: does Cody know that?
Oh yeah, he knows that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was about to say we were about to have another reveal.
Oh yeah.
It's a rare day.
That's why he's an ex-husband.
Rare.
Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
It's very rare that I've ever in my whole life been angry enough to want to actually hurt someone physically. Like, there's been
True.
a couple of times
Same.
with a couple of people, not you know, not super close people, but I don't know. Have you guys ever gotten into fights before? Like, I've never hit someone out of anger, ever.
wait a minute. Does that include family too?
Ever.
Ever. Yeah.
I have never hit anybody
never-
out of
I mean,
anger.
other than my sister.
Do I
Ever.
Yeah.
Do you
Me
have
and
a
my
twice.
brothers used
I
to
was
like
say-
fight until there
oh,
was
I don't
blood.
have brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
had
don't
to-
have.
That's
Isn't that-
different.
The two
Yeah.
boys, yeah, I
You
have
grew up with brothers. It's different.
See, I was about to say the same thing. Like, I
one
don't,
older, one younger, and we used to beat the crap out of each
I mean,
other.
my sister and I used to fight, and we would hit each other. But see, when you were just like, "Have you ever hit somebody?" I'm like, "No, I've never done that." Didn't even
Consider it.
register exactly. Cause
What's
I,
the age difference between you and your sisters?
I just have the one sister, and we're 5.5 years.
Oh wow.
So-
That's a
wow.
good gap.
Yeah, that's a
Your
really
grandson
good.
started
So
all over.
you know, I was like middle school. She's elementary school, wanting to come in my room
Okay.
while I'm like with my friends. Like,
Oh,
no,
so you're
please
the
go
older
away."
sister.
Yeah. So you know, I didn't even register with me. Like, you were considering that. I'm like, oh well, yeah, I've done that, but I've
that
never,
counts.
I've never like, I guess adult me has never gotten into a fight and
Like-
hit somebody.
Like when you think of like high school fights that get you suspended.
no,
like
no.
fist
Mm-mm.
flying.
No,
I got in a fight in middle school.
Did you spill it?
Okay,
Uh-oh.
it's not even a really good story.
oh well.
And I actually still friends with the girl that it happened with. I can't remember. It was either 6th or 7th grade, and there was something that happened, whether it was during lunch or whatever, and then we were going to 4th period, and then before we walk into 4th period, it was like there were some words or whatever, and then it was almost like the kids hyped it up. because
course.
she
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really
Mhm.
didn't even have a problem with each other. It was almost like, oh, well, she said she could kick your ass. No, she said she could kick your ass. That's the problem with fucking kids. They're stupid. Well, and then all of a sudden we both came out of our classes and we met in the dirt, and all of a sudden we kind of sat there, they circled around, and we started swinging on each other. And I'll never freaking forget it. My older brother walked by and like looked and was like, nope, and kept going to class.
Wow.
Now, I'll never
Damn.
forget it, because I saw him and he saw me, and he was just like, nope, because he was the one to not get involved and everything else. Do you know how much trouble he got into?
For
He-
not getting
For
involved.
not getting in?
Hell
my
yeah.
parents ripped his ass.
My son
You
would be
ever
in
see
so
your siblings
much
in
trouble.
a fight? You better either break it up or whatever.
But
yeah.
You
sure.
better
He
step
knew that
in.
you could handle your shit, though.
Well, in all honesty, he saw two girls freaking swinging on each
He's
other
like,
like windmills, and he was like, I'm not fucking with this. Like, I don't blame him now,
Smart man.
but I would expect Anthony, if he saw Riley,
Absolutely.
Well,
to,
Yeah.
you know, walk over there and at least grab me and yank me out of it, because he was 2 grades higher than me. I was in 6th grade and he was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like,
He had the power to stop it.
he was the upperclassman. He could have gone in there and been like, this isn't, you know, whatever.
Not okay.
But anyways,
I've had to defend my sister when she was younger, and I never got into fights, but there were times I've had to get in people's faces who apparently are still scared of me to this day. So
oh, like
did
to
your
quit
job.
messing with your sister?
yeah. I mean, we're talking like middle school.
Well, that, I
And-
mean, 5 years older.
and
like,
she's in elementary school, and and she comes, crying home. I can hear her screaming out, hanging outside with my friend at my house, and she comes from a few houses down with her bike, and she's screaming and crying. She's got like scratches and stuff, and
what?
so backstory at the time. So my friend, who was a year older than me, him and I were hanging out at my house, and my sister was over at their house with his younger sister hanging out. But then there was this girl who also lives in our neighborhood who was my age, hanging out with these 2 little elementary school kids. So middle school girl hanging out with these 2 elementary school girls. So we're out hanging out at my house, and I hear my sister coming home screaming from down the road. I just hear this like wailing. It's her walking her bike. She rode her bike down, walking her bike, and she's crying. And of course I come out and I meet her. I'm just like, what's wrong? And she tells me this girl started to be nasty to her, to be mean to her. She got on her bike to go home. The girl got in front of my sister, held her back from riding her bike, and eventually knocked her over to where she scraped up all her legs. She had like on her palms, she had her knees scraped up, and of course I am just like, oh hell no. I go, if anybody does that to my sister, it's me. So I'm mad. So I take her inside. I'm like, well, go get yourself cleaned up. And then we go inside, and I come back out, and this girl is out like wanting
Out
to
in the front yard?
Yeah, wanting to explain herself to. Oh, I came out and I got in her face. I just remember like, listen, I don't have confrontation with people. I still don't at this age. Like I may sometimes talk a big game, but like when it comes down to it, like I sometimes will start shaking and get nervous if I'm gonna have a confrontation with somebody. Yeah, because I really don't do it. So, middle school, I remember like putting my finger in her face, and I remember being all nervous, but I literally just said to her, I was just like, what gives you the right to knock my sister down, push her down, and do all this stuff? Why? And I was just in her face, and I basically told her she needed to go away because I was in her face. And apparently
You rocked her world.
listen, I found out she had mutual friends of mine later on in life that I had from soccer, and this is like 2-3 years later. I found out from them that they're like, oh yeah, I guess you guys had an incident back like a few years ago. She won't come down to your part of the neighborhood because she's scared of you. And I was
That's
like,
so funny.
yeah,
That's right.
I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
I'm a boss.
I mean, I mean, it was.
But listen, when she comes home walking her bike instead of riding it, something is wrong.
Oh, she's crying. I was just like, who? Wait, no.
Because
See,
when I
can
was
do
growing
that.
up, walking your bike meant you crashed or
Right.
something
Something's
happened,
wrong.
and you can't physically ride that bike. I've had that happen, and that's serious
it
when
is.
you're that age.
It is.
What
And
are you doing walking that bike?
I was like, who pushed you down? No, I pushed you down. Who thinks they can push you down? No. Yeah. So I've had a few moments where I've had to do. I've had to play the older sister. If my sister was here, I don't know what she would. She'd probably remember things differently, maybe. But you know, because she's the younger sister. But I've had a couple. I had at an NSYNC concert. I had to do the same thing. Some girls, yeah.
See, I am
We're
the younger
picking on
sister.
her.
Me too.
Listen, I was the cool big sister. So, you know, NSYNC, big. I was 16 at the time in Orlando, people. I lived in Orlando. I was 16 years old. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC.
Yes.
Dude, they were like issued to me because
Can I
I'm
go?
from
Can
Orlando.
you be my sister?
Right.
Can you be my big
So-
sister too?
Every concert, I was there. And my friends and I, we all went. Well, one concert, it was one of NSYNC's first concerts. They had Britney Spears opening. This is when Britney,
Oh.
before she got big.
Beginning.
Epic.
That's a whole
Right?
well, that's a whole story to tell about that show too. But we got extra tickets, and I brought my sister and her friend, and I drove them because I'm the teenager. So I drove these, you know, little girls, little 10-year-old girls that got to come to the concert,
Oh.
and it
So
was.
sweet.
It wasn't like general seating. Everybody had a seat assignment, and we had some damn good seats. We were like down low, row 10 back. It wasn't like a big stadium. It was like an auditorium at the time. This is before they went stadium. So, but we still had some pretty decent seats. And the way the seating worked was that, like, you know, seats weren't like right back to each other. They were like spaced out. So like you had one row, and then the row behind them were like in the gaps in between those seats. So everybody had a view. So nobody was being stood up in front of somebody. Everybody could see the stage.
Right.
So I see these three girls who were definitely my age at the time and who were dressing very trashy, skipping around in front of us, in rows in front of us. And at this time, my sister was still short. She couldn't see, so I let her come over and stand in front of me
Mm-hmm.
because she had a better view that way. So it looked like there was 2 empty seats on the aisle. And I see these girls walking around trying to sneak into rows. And I see our empty seats, and I see them walk up the aisle and look at them, and I see them point to them like, oh, look, there's empty seats. Well, I shoved my sister and her friend back over and was like, boom. Like, nope, they're, you know, nobody else notices it except me.
Right.
And so they couldn't take those seats. So then they end up squishing into the row in front of us, which now has completely blocked my little sister at the time. You know, she's 10. She's shorter than me. Now she
Right.
can't really see at all. So she starts to pull out into the aisle. Well, the ushers were there telling you, do not stand in the aisle. Anytime anyone stepped out into the aisle to like watch the show, they were pushing you back in. So my sister and her friend can't see, period. They can't see the show. These girls shouldn't be sitting there, and I'm pissed. So I told my sister, who is not very confrontational, stand out in the aisle, and when the usher comes to like yell at you, tell him these girls are standing in front of you. You can't see, you know, bring attention to the situation. So she does, and then the usher comes by, and she doesn't say anything because, of course, she's 10. She just clams up. She's like, I'm not going to say anything. So I have her do it again, and when he comes by, and this is like an older guy, he comes by again. I just went over there. I said, excuse me. I was like, these 3 girls should not be sitting there. My sister can't see, you know, just I brought attention. And he looked at them and he like tapped all 3 on the shoulder and was like, come with me. Well, let me tell you, these bitches turned around and looked at me and my friend and like gave me the dirtiest looks ever. And all I sat there was going, see you later. Bye.
Giving them the wave.
Yep. I was like, bye-bye. See you later. Now my sister, who's 10, is like, oh my God, Lauren, they're going to get us afterwards. And my friend and I are like, bring it on. We were just like, come on, we played soccer. We were just like, no, bring these girls on. They stood all the way in the back. They couldn't see. But of course, my sister at the time was just like, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe you did that. I was like, whatever, man.
Whatever. Enjoy yourself.
I was like, I had like one girl behind me tap me on the shoulder and go, that was awesome. Thanks so much. And I was like, no problem, guys. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the right thing to do. You don't go stand. We were at Rockville one year, and I thought I was going to straight up like shoulder check this guy because there was a little girl who was trying to see, and all she wanted to see was this freaking band. And I think it was In This Moment.
Mm-hmm.
And a little girl, like 10, and I'm standing there this past year, and she comes up, and then all these 2 guys like slide up along the rail, and are completely blocking it, and the girl can't see. Well, they're getting ready to, like, the dad's like, oh, well, you can't see. Well, let's go back out. And I literally turned around. I was like, no, here, you did all this. You can stand here. Is it okay if she stands here? And I was able to push my body into him enough to be able to get this girl to be able to stand kind of on the rail so she could see. But it's just like, come on. Like, if there's a littler kid that wants to see, should make it happen.
Yeah.
I would commend you, too, if I saw you do it.
For
Like,
real.
I grew up in Jacksonville, and I can remember being a teenager, and probably 2 to 3 times a week from the time I was about 16, from the time I could drive on, we would go to shows 2 to 3 times a week because the music scene was really big when I was a teenager. And I can remember going to see Taking Back Sunday and The Used. I still love them. And the goal was always to see how close to the front you could get. You know,
Right.
if their sweat was flying and hitting you, like you were in a really good spot. But I can remember seeing them too, and we were in a pretty big venue. I can't remember where we were, but we were up front, and there was the bars, in front of the stage, and I was holding on to them. And I can remember people just shoving their way, trying to get so close to the front, and I was holding on for dear life because Taking Back Sunday was my jam. Like, they were the shit. And I wasn't letting go of those bars, and I think I broke a nail, like, holding on to that. But, oh my God, I can remember that. That was, like, all we ever did as teenagers was just go to shows, just go see live music. Like, that is the best thing ever, to go just, not drinking, not doing drugs, not doing,
just the music.
We weren't doing anything except for listening to music and then fucking going home and just...
But jamming out while you're
Hanging
there.
out.
I mean,
Hanging
yeah.
out.
You enjoy the
your
hell out of
friends.
what you're doing there. You love the music.
Mhm.
Like, even looking back now on some of the music we used to listen to, and it's like...
I was like, what the hell?
What was I thinking listening to that? But, like, now even listening to stuff that I used to listen to, it just brings back those feelings of just, like, being adolescent and being free and being just, like, so, like, I don't know. It's just a different feeling when
I
when
think
you're
that
that
goes
age.
for anything. I mean, I know when I listen, the reason I still listen to 80s on 80 and 90s on 90 on my satellite radio is because every single song makes me think about
Hell yeah.
my adolescence, my teenage years, that social life that I finally got to have when I stopped playing travel club soccer. I can think about certain songs and, like, I mean, just being, student assistant period and guidance and singing certain songs and listening to them, or being at a certain homecoming and listening to them, or being in a car and, singing them and dancing to them and, having inside jokes with friends over certain songs. I mean, yeah.
We used to listen to a lot of ska music, and I was friends with some kids that were in my same grade that were in a ska band, and they were like the only ska band in Jacksonville at that time. And we used to get those little kazoos, and we would print out labels that said skazoo. So we would listen to ska music with the trumpets and and we would play our little kazoos to the trumpet music. We just had a great time. Like, it was just a great time, and that's all that was ever, like, expected of us at that age. It was just such a good time.
So I got to tell you a funny... Talk about Lauren and funny, or Lauren and handling a situation.
Oh, crap.
Well,
We didn't run this by me, guys.
Since we're... No, it's good. It's good.
I'm like...
Off the record? No. So we're talking about music, and one of the funniest time... No, not funny. It was actually pretty serious. You remember the show with Holidays in Ocala? Do you remember I was pregnant?
Oh, the one where we had to, like, put a barrier around
You
you
had to,
because
like...
the jackwads who were trying to mosh with the...
They were
Yes.
trying to freaking mosh at a Holidays show, and I'm standing there freaking pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and it was you and...
Let's just pretend it was me.
All Lauren.
It's just you and me still left,
Bodyguard.
isn't it?
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
The
But-
originals, OGs.
The OGs.
OGs.
But yeah, and you just like stepped right in, and it was just like,
Well, there's
no.
how many guys? Yes, I remember that time. It was.
So-
It's not like the freaking dance floor was crowded either. I specifically remember that, and I was like, "Really? This is the area you're choosing to do that at? You see, she's pregnant. Can't you?"
Oh,
just
and I was popping pregnant.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
I had.
This wasn't like, gee, did you just have a burrito baby, or you really, do you really? No. This was like, yeah, it's in there.
That was our first After the End show. I was like 7 months pregnant with Ava at our first After the End show.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
right.
I was-
Yeah, she was.
And I had a shirt that said, I prefer the drummer, and my hair was all like crazy colors. And before we went into the show, like I can remember walking around like real close to the venue, and this like mom and daughter, they were a little bit older, walked by and they stopped and they were like talking shit about me because I have
Don't
tattoos.
you hate that? You feel so
And,
judged.
Yeah,
Just
because
like,
I was
what the
super
hell?
pregnant. I have all these tattoos, and my hair was like blue and yellow and pink and all these crazy colors. And Reed was like, "Don't listen to them." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't even hear them. What the fuck did they say?"
Just let me be me.
Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I really don't.
But they were judgy.
Yeah, they were like super judgy about me being super pregnant and being out there in Gainesville, like, I guess looking super awesome, because I mean, that's.
It's called supporting
I
your
did.
husband.
Yes,
dickwads.
right.
that's
Yeah.
all I was doing.
I think we all have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I know Cody's not in a band, but
No.
but I'm saying like we've all been out
Yeah,
there.
you've been
I've
pregnant to
I've been pregnant.
several shows.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a couple that come into mind too. Sidebar.
Oh gosh,
Crazy.
how many? The freaking! It was always the sidebar.
It was always sidebar.
It was that was where the drunkenness
that
would
was
happen.
that night when that guy gave him that
With the
special tequila.
and I
Yes.
smacked it out of it.
Didn't Nick sleep on the bathroom floor?
Probably, but there
Mm.
were multiple other nights that there was a bathroom
No,
floor.
That was that night. I was pregnant, and it made my life a little more difficult to carry heavy equipment into a car.
Joe got sick that night.
Yeah, he
Probably should not have done that.
He did.
There were some wild times with the friggin' guys when they were in the band.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Ah.
I believe it.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Great. But yeah, I think we've all been there. We've all been pregnant at a bar, supporting our guys.
Or even, shit, there are women that go out pregnant.
I mean,
In a bar,
Well,
yeah.
I didn't do that.
Not even
Nah,
that.
I didn't do that
I didn't
either.
do that. I already had to be there anyways for the show. I was like, I'm going to include this in that time. So
always
we're
That
had to
I was
be
supportive.
DD.
Exactly.
I was always
well,
DD,
yeah.
and it sucked. I hated
Mhm.
it because then you got to wrangle everybody. And you don't have the fucking
Mhm.
energy for that shit.
Do you know what I did
Mhm.
after both of mine? So I would be DD, and of course the shows and everything else going out. Like I would drive them home, pop the kid out, done breastfeeding. You know,
More
6
power
weeks.
to you.
6 weeks. No, I lasted a big whopping 6 weeks. And then it was like, all right, time to drink. Both times, off of being pregnant, I got so drunk that I got so fucking sick. I was puking on the side of university.
Oh man.
Like that's pretty bad.
I don't know. I can't drink like I used to. I know that. Like after having kids, like it's not happening. Like the next morning, no.
Not
like
not
the
gonna
hangover
happen.
with the kids
Mm.
at 8 a.m. No, I'm good.
Well, I will tell you this, that if this does ever air, I wonder if it would. I'll have to try to look at it and see if I can play it back. But if it does ever air, that's going to be fucking hilarious. But I guess I should plug that this is like the Porchville podcast.
Aren't we the better half?
We are the better half.
Plug it in. We're the better half.
Better half.
You can find Porchville podcast or Porchville I'm sure on Twitter, YouTube. They're on freaking YouTube now.
Stitcher.
That's
where I have it.
Stitcher.
Yeah.
Man, I am so behind on all
That's
these.
actually-
I was about to say,
Facebook.
what is
Really?
Stitcher?
Thank
And
you.
know,
Never
I
heard of
didn't
it.
know about it until Nick said
Yes.
that's where you find it, and it's really easy to find on there. Really easy to play. It's very user friendly.
Well, that's good.
I'm not being paid by Stitcher, by the way.
This is not a paid advertisement. No.
But I downloaded the app on my phone.
It was
I got all the
extremely
episodes. It's very easy to find. We're the only Porchville podcast.
Easy. Yeah. Only Porchville. The friggin' porch.
Epic.
How long have we been hanging on how many years has the porch been like?
I know for me, hanging out with you guys, it's probably been about 5 years.
Yeah,
Has it been 5 years?
I think.
Yeah.
I helped you move a waterbed, so.
That was like, we're talking, let's see, Nick and I,
Mm-hmm.
this year will be our fucking, Nick's so much better at this. I have to think of Anthony. Yeah, 13 years and then 2 years ago, so 15.
How old are my kids?
So that'd be 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Lauren.
I'm
15
saying,
years.
Yeah. I helped move that damn waterbed from
You
two
know,
different apartments.
I was so upset, and Nick straight up when we left that 2-bedroom to move into the house, he was like, "I'm not moving it again." I was like, "But it's my bed."
I
He was
remember
like,
that. Yeah.
Those
I remember.
damn cylinders.
Yo, God.
I used to move my waterbed by myself. I've had a waterbed from the time I was in like 5th grade. My parents like redid my bedroom, like painted it, did all this stuff, put a waterbed in there because that's what they had and that was the cool thing to do at the time. And I had a waterbed all the way until I got married. And I can remember being a teenager on the 2nd story. Okay, I had a 2-story house. I would put a hose up in that 2nd story window, drain my waterbed, move it by myself. I would move my furniture and rearrange my room by myself at like 14. Yeah, I was ridiculously awesome. So.
I mean, I rearranged my room all the time, but I never had a waterbed.
Yeah, I had that to contend with, but I had done it so many times by then that I was really just a pro at it.
You were a pro, and you never
So
drained
easy.
it.
Nope. And I can remember cleaning my room. I can remember putting my feet up on the edge of the bed and like using my butt to push the mattress back and to like get all the stuff that fell, you know,
Underneath.
in the time that I didn't clean it out. You know, it's like, oh, there's my pogs and there's my,
Yes.
you know,
Summers.
my Barbie shoes and all the other things that
Polly
would fall in
Pockets.
there. Yeah, my Polly Pockets. I had a lot of those.
Where's the good? I painted my room black. My mom actually let me paint my
Really?
room black. I had to buy the paint, and I bought the paint because I had a job, and I was 15 and a half, and she was like, "Well, you can do it, but you gotta buy the paint." I'm like, "Okie dokie."
She didn't think you'd actually do it.
Oh, or yeah, probably. But I will say that looking back, I wish I would have used 2 coats. Because you could still kind of see.
See the streaks all over.
Well, look,
Yeah.
now you'll
Yeah.
know when Riley asks you.
Well, now
Yeah.
paint is like you can buy this paint that you can only do like 2 coats and it covers everything. It's got the primer
It's
in there.
amazing.
It's really like
We-
come a long ways.
The fuck is this shit?
We're talking
We're
about paint.
fucking
Talking about
bullshitting.
Painting our room.
Painting and rearranging bedrooms.
Sorry.
Y'all record?
You missed the conversation about our periods earlier, so I'm sorry.
And laundry and socks.
We're not talking about periods on here.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yeah, we are.
And we talked about briefs briefly too.
There's like 2 hours of shit on here, man. Oh my goodness.
You asked for this, Nick.
We were
I'll
just
tell you
hanging
what.
out.
I can't wait to. What's up, Porchvillians? This is your host, Nick. Just wanted to come on and let you know we unfortunately lost the last couple minutes of this episode here, having a few technical difficulties. Hey, we're new at this. We're still working out the kinks. So, a personal thank you very much from me, from Cody, from all the ladies involved in the Porchville podcast Better Half episode, and it was a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll be doing that one again. So hit us up, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, Stitcher. You can find us on YouTube now, and go over, of course, porchvillepod.com. And as always, you can always find us right here on the porch. Y'all have a good night.